Hey guys, Mr. Arcus here, and as you can see and probably tell from the title of this video, this is a continuation of the Germany World Cup Road to World Cup Glory, probably what I'm going to probably end up calling it. So, yeah, well, it's in the Master League. It's a continuation of the Tottenham Master League if you didn't watch the first video. And in today's episode and final episode of this little small side series, or split, or mid-season, I don't know what the hell you even call it, end of season series, is basically the last bit of the World Cup to see how basically the World Cup ends. So in the first game, we faced off against Italy, having got through the group stage in the first match, in the first episode, and facing off against Ghana in the first knockout round and beating them 2-0. So going against Italy, not a really difficult side. We do have some good players like Stefan El-Shaarawy, who plays for me, and we also for Tottenham. And of course, they have Balotelli up front, who's actually a ridiculously good player in this game. In real life, he's a bit controversial, but to be honest, I think he actually has the potential to be actually really good. But for every reason, some people don't really believe in him. But yeah, in the first minutes of the match, basically we kick off, and as you'd expect, that was pretty decent. So in the fifth minute of the match, Thomas Muller runs down the right hand side, gives a really poor pass straight to El-Shaarawy, and El-Shaarawy gives it into Balotelli. Balotelli just passes it into Candreva, and Candreva just runs away from both my players. Hummels comes flying out, but flying across with a flying goddamn crazy slide tackle, and the referee gives a penalty. Now he takes the penalty, Balotelli takes the penalty, not Hummels got a yellow card, and Balotelli takes a really nice penalty not right into the top right hand corner, but it's slightly diagonally right up. Basically a penalty very difficult to actually save in this game. So Italy take basically a lead from the first minutes of the match, but in the 32nd minute of the match, Muller on the ball plays it, well, not Thomas Muller, but Ozil on the ball plays it into Thomas Muller, and a really nice little pass. Fortunately, we get past Perrin, who's in goal for Italy, and Thomas Muller pops in the back of the net. Personally, for me, that was a ridiculous goal to actually score, because basically the goalie didn't really do anything. In the 64th minute of the match, Gomez, who comes on as a substitute, again, nearly gets another opportunity. Perrin actually sort of redeems himself. Going to the last minutes of the match, Drax on the ball. Mario Gomez gets an opportunity, and Gomez takes the most ridiculous shot I've ever seen, and it goes nowhere. So going all the way into extra time in the 103rd minute of the match, Thomas Muller gets a strike away, again doesn't come to anything, and in the last minutes of the match, the game ends 1-1. So it goes up to a penalty shootout. The penalty shootout starts with Mario Götze taking his first penalty. He pops into top right, gives us a 1-0 lead against Italy. Balotelli, of course, having already taken a penalty in the actual match, takes his penalty. This time he hits it to the left, and he pops it into the side netting to give us make it 1-1. In the next penalty, I think it was Bastian Schweinsteiger makes it 2-1 to us, hitting it to the left hand side. And then I'm not sure who number 19 even is for Italy, but he takes the penalty. I jumped the right direction, but it was low, and I went high. Thomas Muller takes the third penalty for us. He hits it into the top right hand corner, makes it 3-2 to us. And then their fourth penalty, I'm not even sure who these players even are. He takes a penalty, actually save it this time, he hits it bottom right. And then Mesut Ozil takes his penalty. He hits it right into the sweet spot, which is really hard for goalkeepers to save. And in the last penalty of the game, which I think was taken, I'm not really sure by who, I think it might have been Padawin, and he hits the crossbar, and we win 4-2 on penalties. So we beat Italy in the quarterfinals of the World Cup to get to the semi-finals. And in the semi-finals, we're facing off against England or Brazil, and it was England we faced off against. As you see from our quarter-final matches, Ivory Coast beat Argentina, which is just ridiculous, and Spain got beat by Mexico. Now, I know the game comes up with some crazy stuff sometimes, but that doesn't make any sense. That's all I have to say. But yeah, going into the next match against England, knowing that of course they're technically our rivals, I completely forgot that England's kit wasn't licensed. So of course they're going to be playing some red and white kit, because that's that. And we're going to play in our licensed kit because Germany are licensed. Now, the only reason England aren't licensed, I have literally no clue. But yeah, so we played our strongest team possible, well, one of our strongest teams possible, considering that some of our players were quite tired. So the likes of Royce, Draxler, Muller, Götze, Schweinsteiger all played. Roda played instead of Kroos. England, they played a relatively strong team, likes of Sterling, Welbeck, Sturridge, Walcott, Wilshere. They had Delph in midfield for some weird reason. Klein, John Terry again, who plays for Tottenham. Then Robinson at left back, who I've never actually heard of, but he's rated like 84 or something. It's absolutely ridiculous, and stuff like that. So we kicked off the game again, considering we're playing at the home stadium. I think it was actually the Royal London Stadium, which makes literally no sense at all. But in the 16th minute of the match, Götze down the right hand side gets across, but doesn't really come to anything, comes out for a corner kick which Schweinsteiger takes. Now he hits it into the sweet spot area. Draxler gets his head on it, and it goes just wide of the post. In the 25th minute of the match, Sturridge on the ball plays it into Donnie Welbeck. Welbeck through on goal. I was like, oh well, this is going to be a goal, nice and easy. This time, actually, Neuer actually makes a pretty decent save and keeps it 0-0 going up to the end of the first half. But in the 37th minute of the match, Müller on the ball plays it into Mario Götze. Götze takes one touch and finishes it with the outside of his right foot to give us a 1-0 lead. Actually, it's Giuseppe Meazza to give us a 1-0 lead against England going into the second half. So in the 60th minute of the match, Thomas Müller on the ball basically waits for Mario Götze to make a run, which he eventually does make. Mario Götze eventually gets his shot away, gets a strike away, really good save from Fraser Forster, and it goes up for a corner kick. That from the corner kick didn't really come to anything. And in the 70th minute of the match here, Welbeck on the ball basically just runs through on goal, and I was like, okay, I cannot have this, because Welbeck had already missed one opportunity. He's probably going to score the second one, or the computer make him score it. How it is takes him out completely, and I get a straight red card. Now, it was worth to get a straight red card only because I knew that I wasn't going to be playing how it is in the final anyway if I did get there. And basically, it was just worth it, because it was a bit of a cynical foul, but it was like, well, I had to do it, or else I would have just went to penalties again and make the video about 10 times longer than it actually needed to be. So with a 1-0 win against England going into the final game, it'd be either against Mexico or Ivory Coast, and it's against Ivory Coast. Now, I've noticed this before whenever I face teams in the group stages of a tournament. I always seem to face the same team in the final if I get there. It's really, really weird. So, having already faced Ivory Coast in this series, I faced off against them in the final of the World Cup. Now, that's what the World Cup looks like in this game. It's the International Cup, actually, technically. And we faced against Ivory Coast. Now, Ivory Coast, again, I didn't bother to change their kit because I was not expecting to face off against them ever again. But we faced off against them. So, Ivory Coast, not a difficult side. I already beat them already. We beat them 4-1. So going to this last match, knowing that I could easily win against them, I sort of took it a bit easier than I expected, and I played my strongest team possible, but I did sort of be a bit complacent essentially, and faced off against them. Their team, nothing's changed. It's still the same team: Wilfred Boney, Sakura, stuff like that. Of course, Sakura will probably end up being the regen Sakura, because I doubt Sakura still even plays football. But yeah, playing our strongest team: Neuer, Boateng, Hummels, Lam, Badstuber at left back actually, Schweinsteiger, Ozil, Kroos, Götze, Gomez and Royce, because Thomas Müller, for whatever reason, he was in purple form, which just made no sense at all. So a purple arrow. So going into that, we basically started off against this game, and I was like, okay, gonna take it easy, but I know that they're not a difficult opposition. Like, if they score the first goal, I can always get back into it and stuff like that. So they actually kicked off in this game against me, and I was like, okay, let's just see how it goes. So they passed the ball about for a bit. They passed the ball about a lot in this game. It was a bit ridiculous. But in the 10th minute of the match, Mario Gomez actually does get through on goal, gets a strike away. It's a really good save from Barry, the goalkeeper, and it goes up for a throw-in which comes to nothing. Going all the way up to the 45th minute of the match here, they play a really nice ball through to Gervinho. Schweinsteiger coming all the way back. Gervinho basically runs past me like I'm not even there. Eventually passes it into Sedi. Sedi gets a shot away, and it goes just wide of the post. Now at the start of the second half, Gervinho again on the ball, sort of tormenting more or less my right hand side of my defence, well, left hand side of my defence. And Gervinho gets straight through on goal, gets a strike away. It's a really good save from Manuel Neuer. Comes at the Philip Lam, and Lam clears it. And I was like, take it a bit too easy. So in the 74th minute of the match here, Schweinsteiger on the ball plays it into Toni Kroos. Now this is the most ridiculous through ball you will ever see, ever. Now that through ball was meant to be for Andre Schürrle. It goes all the way down to the left hand side, and Sakura, for whatever reason, does not decide to go anywhere near Marco Reus. Reus crosses it in, and Andre Schürrle pops it in to give us a 1-0 lead in the 75th, 78th minute of the match, to basically more or less secure the World Cup for us. And he sort of made sure of it, because in the 81st minute of the match, Schürrle on the ball runs past 2 or 3 players like they're not even there. Again, Ivory Coast absolutely horrendous defending, really low ball into Mario Götze, and Götze pops in the back of the net to more or less secure it completely. A 2-0 win for us against Ivory Coast in the final of the World Cup to give us the World Cup. So we win the World Cup. We won the game 2-0. We win the World Cup. Reus, Götze and Schürrle were basically the 3 best players definitely in the World Cup. Jerome Boateng did a pretty decent job as well at the back. Didn't really concede too many goals. From the knockout stages on, we only conceded 1 goal. From the group stages we conceded 3, but I mean, doesn't really matter. There's only, what, 7 games you have to play, or 8 games? Is it 8 games? No, 7 games. So 7 games, we won all 7 games. I mean, well, we drew against Italy. But with that being said, we basically won the game. Philip Lahm again get to lift the trophy for us. I mean, technically in real life he wouldn't, because he's actually retired from Germany. But yeah, so win the game against Ivory Coast. It was a relatively straightforward game. Like, not really much happened, and that was that. So as you see here, Germany International Cup winners, won the International Cup, got the trophy for the game in terms of the actual achievement trophy, PS4 wise. But I mean, I was just like, yeah, that was straightforward, nice and easy. Now, with that being said, the end of this video will just show the stuff like the, I forgot what it's called, the team of the tournament and the accolades for like best manager and stuff like that. So as you see here, they all sort of sit around the trophy, stuff like that, all sort of really weirdly bouncing. It's really actually quite awkward to look at, except for Hummels, who for every reason is lying down. But as you see there, I mean, we basically destroyed them. Charlotte got a man of the match with 7.5 rating. We win the World Cup 2-0, as you see there, final. And England got the 3rd place playoff against Mexico. And as you see from the actual individual titles, Jerome Boateng was player of the tournament. Dos Santos and Jorginho were the top scorer and assist leader, and I was the manager. And team of the tournament, Müller, Schürrle, Götze, Schweinsteiger, Hummels and Boateng from Germany. So, yeah. Now, the Tottenham Master League, I don't know if it's actually going to come back or anything. I might play through it and just see how it is. But personally, it'd probably be a bit too easy for me to do anything. So I'll basically see how it goes. If it's terrible, I will just... Basically, if it's too easy, I'll just leave it. But yeah, we'll see. But basically, I'll be back next week. And if it's not back next week, it probably won't be back after that. I'll just wait till 2016 starts. Till PES 2016 actually comes out. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.